Slowly ping.
Fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Today we will explore the historical significance and legacy of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. RBG is a champion for women's rights and the LGBTQ community and liberal ideologies. We will discuss her early life, her gender discrimination that she faced, and her path towards becoming a pop culture icon for younger generations. To help us understand the significance of Ruth Bader Ginsburg's career as a Supreme Court Justice, we will begin by learning how she got there in the first place. RBG was born March 15, 1933 to Jewish parents Nathan Bader and Celia Amster Bader. She graduated from James Madison High School in Brooklyn, New York before continuing on to Cornell University. She graduated there in 1954 with high honors in government. The same year, she married Martin Ginsburg and the couple had 2 children together. After graduating from Cornell, she began attending Harvard Law School in 1956, where she was one of only 9 women in a class of 500 students. She often faced gender discrimination, including questions like, "How do you feel taking the spot in the program from a man?" According to Alexander, the female students were barred from using certain sections in the law library. Nevertheless, she persisted. In 1957, Marty was diagnosed with testicular cancer, and Ruth attended classes and took notes for the both of them. She also typed all of Marty's dictated papers and cared for their 2-year-old daughter and sick husband, all while making the Harvard Law Review. When Martin got a job in New York, Ruth transferred to Columbia Law School for her final year and graduated in 1959 at the top of her class. According to Totenberg, so now that we have reviewed her early life and educational background, let's dive into her partnership with the ACLU. Following her clerkship for Edmund Palmier, judge of the United States District Court in 1961, Ruth became involved with the ACLU and helped found their Women's Rights Project in 1972. The Women's Rights Project empowers poor women, women of color, and immigrant women who have been subject to gender bias and barriers to equality. Alexander. The Women's Rights Project focuses on 4 core areas of women's rights. Number 1, employment. Advocating on behalf of low-waged immigrant workers, supporting women in non-traditional employment, and seeking to end workplace discrimination. Number 2, violence against women. By committing to advancing battered women's civil rights and assisting women in their efforts to keep themselves and their children safe. Number 3, criminal justice. By addressing the harms of women and girls caught up in the criminal justice and juvenile justice systems, including conditions of their confinement. And number 4, education. By dedication to ensuring that public schools do not become sex segregated and that boys and girls receive equal educational opportunities, according to the ACLU. Now that we have reviewed the significance of the Women's Rights Project, let us look into how she became the second female Supreme Court Justice. On June 14, 1993, President Bill Clinton nominated Ruth Bader Ginsburg to the Supreme Court. She was confirmed by the Senate and took her seat on August 10, 1993. She stated, "I'm sometimes asked when there will be enough women on the Supreme Court. And I say, when there are 9. People are shocked by that answer, but there have been 9 men and no one ever raised a question about that." During her tenure as a justice, she fiercely advocated for gender equality and women's rights. She was known for her noble opinions and her fiery dissents when it came to equal rights for women and the LGBTQ community. She even began wearing her famous collar of dissent when the court began to turn right after Sandra Day O'Connor's retirement in 2006. According to Totenberg, since we have gone over her support for women's rights, let us further discuss her unwavering commitment to the LGBTQ rights by being the first justice to officiate a same-sex wedding. In 2013, the Supreme Court legalized same-sex marriage on the federal level. This ruling led to same-sex couples having access to the same benefits under federal tax law as married couples, even if they lived in one of the 37 states that did not recognize same-sex marriage. According to Henderson, shortly after, RBG became the first justice to officiate a same-sex wedding. At the time, she stated, "I think it will be a statement that people who love each other and want to live together should be able to enjoy the blessings and the strife in the marriage relationship." According to Henderson, RBG passed away September 18th, 2020, due to complications of pancreatic cancer. To summarize, RBG leaves behind a legacy as a champion of women's rights, LGBTQ rights, and equality across the board. Her early life and educational journey were littered with adversity and discrimination, leading her to fight for equal rights and pay for women. She founded the Women's Rights Project with the ACLU, leading to larger representational opportunities for women facing discrimination in their workplaces, educational institutions, and the criminal justice system, and for violence against women. She became the second woman to serve on the United States Supreme Court and the first Jewish woman to serve on the court as well. And then she became the first justice to officiate a same-sex wedding. Whether you share her opinions or dissent, her legacy is undeniable. Thank you.
And then I'll show you all again.